All right, my friends, in today's episode, I sit down with an amazing business owner. Her name is Diana, and she's a mom of four. And she has her own business. She does lots of other things. You think you have a busy life? Check this episode out. Diana's going to actually talk about some strategies that she uses to clear some of the chaotic moments that life can bring us so that she can not only focus on her business, but also have the time to focus on her family. Grab a pad of paper and pen. You're going to love this episode, I'm telling you. Enjoy. Hi, I'm Marshall Stern, and I've spent over 35 years leading and growing multiple small businesses. I know firsthand the struggles of entrepreneurship, feeling isolated, lonely, overwhelmed, and feeling like you have to do it all by yourself. I've been through multiple recessions, and I have felt the highs and the lows. I've been there, and I get it. This podcast is here to change that. Every week, I will bring you straight talking advice, real-world strategies, and honest conversations about what it takes to succeed in business without the fluff, the gimmicks, or the sugarcoating. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress, then you are in the right place. This is the Stern Truth. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Stern Truth, Business Unfiltered. And today, my friends, we have another special guest, which I've known for actually quite some time. Diana, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. We I don't know if we've met, but I know I talked to you on the phone way back, probably 10 years ago or so, in
Yeah.
one of your previous roles, previous journeys. Tell us a little bit about everything you're up to right now.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. I'm doing a lot. So I'm first and foremost, I'm a mom of four young kids. My kids are 5, 7, 10, and 12. So that's like a full-time job on its own. Professionally, I'm a financial strategist is what I like to call myself. So I just really believe in just empowering people around money. I just realized that it was such an intimidating topic for people. And I really kind of set out a few years ago to just make it approachable. I'm like, it didn't need to be the suit and tie type of thing. And so that's kind of my day job, I guess, while the kids are at school. And then on top of that, but I guess it kind of ties everything in together, is that I've been building a community for moms in business. I just realized through running my own business that there was kind of this gap for moms to kind of have a space to network with each other, to learn, and to do it in a place that felt like we were understood, where especially in something like the insurance and finance world, like it was a lot of men, to be honest. It's a lot of younger professionals that maybe don't have kids, or it's like retired people that aren't in the season that I'm in. And I just found that I was really craving that connection with another mom who understood. So I started this thing. It's called Mama Masterminds, and it's grown. I was actually looking at the Facebook group the other day, and we have like 200 members in there over the last year.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I love the name Mama Masterminds and just the whole idea of bringing these amazing women together. What would you, when you're in these masterminds, these are in person?
They're in person. Yeah, I've done one virtually just because I can't get to all the places that the moms are like, oh, come here, come here. And so we tried one virtually, which was really nice. But I mean, like I'm really craving human connection. And what
Mhm.
I've seen when we're doing these events is like that's what people want right now too, is they just want to gather in person. So I've been doing them like once or twice a month.
That's awesome. And when you get together, is it like, what do you all talk about? Is it a structure, or is it just a free
Yeah.
for all? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this was kind of a learning experience for me too, because initially I actually started this back in April 2024 when I think at that point she was 3. So I had my little one with me, and I'd never done daycare, preschool, any of the things. So whenever I would get out to an event, it was like I had to find childcare. And I got to this point where I'm like, I just want to be able to like take her with me and meet people. So I actually started popping up at play places. Oh my gosh. So I started popping up at play places. I was like, I'm going to pick 4 play places. I'm going to go to one every single week. And if you're a mom in business, just come and join me. So no plan, no structure, and just like a hope that somebody would come. So I did that all of the month of like April 2024. And I think the first one, like I had 3 moms come. We were at a sushi place that I knew had like a play area. So I'm like, you could bring, I brought my toddler, she just played, and then we just kind of chatted, which was really nice. The second and third one was at a play place, which was the worst idea in the world because we were chasing babies the whole time. So someone came and I kind of got their name, and then like her baby was gone. And then my toddler was gone. And then we were just like, we were at Go Bananas, which,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, which was just not a good idea. And I think the last one I went to was like a bouncy house place, which again was an awful idea. So I kind of just like I nixed it after that. I was just kind of like, okay, let's just, I'll drop it. I didn't really do anything with it. And then I had a friend who actually owns a cafe in Richmond, and we were kind of talking about it where I'm like, I still have this like I think this. So like just as an entrepreneur, I'm like, I had this like vision or this itch that like I needed to do something with this. And I was kind of talking to her about it where I'm like, I really want to just like meet other mom entrepreneurs. I want to create this like space for them. And she was like, why don't you do like an official event at my
Mm.
cafe? And this was November 2024. So I kind of launched the Mama Mastermind. And after, I don't know, my marketing genius, I was like, this is a perfect name. Let's get together. Let's like grow. Let's talk about things. So the first one we had was more of just a conversation.
Okay.
And we had 8 women that came, but we all kind of just sat around the table. We ate lunch and we just talked about the things that I think people don't talk about when it comes to, and this is what I loved about your podcast when I was listening. I'm like, it was just like an unfiltered, raw conversation about business, motherhood, your relationship, communication, the guilt that comes with
Mm.
running and being a parent. And it really just kind of like set this fire in me where I'm like, women, and because everyone that came and everyone that ended up leaving, they were like, I needed this. Like, I really needed this space. And then to me, it was like
Yes.
confirmation that it wasn't just me that needed it. And so I did that. We did another workshop style. And then a couple of months in, I was like, let's try speed networking
Mm.
because a lot like I'm super chatty, so a lot of times I would connect with one person at the event and I would talk to them for 2 hours, and then I would leave and be like, oh man, I wish I talked to more people.
Yeah.
So I tried this thing out where we did speed networking, where the intention was still we're going to have the conversations, we're going to connect with like-minded women, but we're going to get to talk to a lot more people because I'm going to force you to move on to the next. And just it was so amazing, like just seeing people connect, they're getting contact info, they're collaborating, they're making plans for play dates, and then they're doing it to the next person, and by the time you walked out of that room you just made 10 new friends that were in
Right.
the same season. So we've been doing that now for the past like 5 or 6 months every single time, and it always
Yes.
goes really, really well.
Nice. No, I love that. And in fact, we introduced, I think we were there for in our last Connect and Collaborate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And actually, it was because of you that I
yeah,
decided to do it because I remember
yeah,
talking about you
yeah.
mentioned this speed networking, and I thought about it in the past. Connect and Collaborate. We used to do it weekly during the pandemic, and then we went to monthly or biweekly, then monthly. And it was just, I would do breakout rooms. If there
Mm.
were enough people, we'd go into breakout rooms, but it was just one time. And then
Oh,
someone would come back and then
yeah,
you would introduce your partner and they would introduce you.
yeah.
Uh, but this was, I mean, I didn't enjoy it like everyone else did because I wasn't in it.
Yeah. The first time I did it on and actually the last one that we did, we just did Maple Ridge a couple of days ago in person and we were an odd number. So guess
Right.
who automatically gets booted out? It's you as
Yeah.
the host. So I just ended up sitting in different conversations where I'm like, I'm going to hang out with you for 7 minutes and then I'm
Yeah.
going to go sit over here for 7 minutes. But I just find that people go to these things because they want to connect with more people
Yeah.
and just being, and it's funny because we hosted at like a pizza place in Maple Ridge, and when I was leaving she was like, what's your secret? She's like, this thing just keeps growing and I see groups come in and try and create communities and do this, but like it doesn't last.
Yeah.
She's like, everyone that leaves here is like super happy, they're talking to each other, and I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's the structure. I think it's because it's so intentional that my goal is to get you to connect, and I'm facilitating that instead of just throwing everyone in a room and being, I'm
Right.
sure I've been to events where it's kind of like you're
Yeah.
just lost in the sea. It's like you registered, okay, here you come in, and you're just like, okay, what
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Well, you're looking for a friend. You're looking for
You're
someone
looking, yeah,
to it's
yeah,
uncomfortable.
Yeah, a friend or friendly eyes. Like I used to wear really fancy shoes to networking events because it made people come and talk to me. So I didn't have to be the one to go out and talk to them. So like it was people would always be like, "Oh my God, your shoes are so nice." I'm like, "Thanks." That's my icebreaker because it's so awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And a lot of people I find are also out of practice because it was shut down for so long and then people got comfortable with doing this, like the on
Yeah.
the screen, which I still do because I have people across North America, sometimes the world, who come into our
Yeah.
different events,
Yeah.
which you can't do if it's local, but there's a need for both.
Yeah.
But in person, yeah, in person, it's magical. Okay, so Mama Masterminds, 4 kids, your business. You know the next question. I mean,
Yeah. Like I could,
how?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's such like a, and I don't want to say loaded question, but I'm like, there's so much, there's no secret. Like, there's no one thing that I could be like, Marshall, like, this is it. This is
Mhm.
like the whole reason that this all works together. Like, there's so many different pieces that I've learned over the years that I've kind of just like trial and errored in my life that have helped make it easier. So like I don't think it's ever going to be easy. I don't think running a business, a community, trying to make the impact I want to make, raising 4 kids, being a daughter too, like our parents are aging, like I don't think it's ever going to be easy, but it can be easier than it is because of certain things that I can kind of implement. So I mean,
Mhm.
I'm funny like that where I kind of like made my own framework. It all kind of clicked to me one day and I don't know if I talked to you about this, but I have a framework
Okay.
because at one point I thought I would teach this because I genuinely just I want to lighten the load for moms out there, especially ones that are running a business. I'm like, anything I can share with you that'll make it easier for you, just like people have shared with me to make it easier for me, is like that doesn't do any harm. But I'm very systematic. So I'm like, I want it to make logical sense when I'm not just gonna like word vomit on you all the things that I've learned over the last 6 years of being an entrepreneur and raising little kids. But it kind of boils down, I think, to like 4 categories that I sort of try and put my focus in.
Okay.
I kind of coined them the 4 S's. So there's self, there's strategy, there's systems, and there's support. And I found that when I was just starting out, I focused a lot in one area. And I think a lot of people, when you just start a business and you're trying to integrate it in your life, you're like, strategy, strategy. I need a strategy. I need a strategy. I need a social media content strategy. I need a business strategy. I need a strategy. And
Mhm.
when I was kind of in that mode and not paying attention to any of the other things, there was a lot of friction. It was really hard. And I think eventually I started to like, the other pieces kind of fell into place naturally as I was learning over the years. But when I sat back one day and I'm like, how is this all happening? I'm like, it's because these things are all in place. Like, I have a strategy, I have systems in my business and in my home, lighten the load. And then I have a great support system, but I've also led them to support me. I'm not just, people talk about the village all the time. And I have a podcast episode on this where I'm like, support is not just going to show up at the door.
Mhm.
I'm very intentional about crafting my support system so that I can do what I need to do because it's not less
Mhm.
important than everything else. And moms are really notorious about putting ourselves last. But I've made sure that like my system also supports me because what I do is important. And then on the self side, and self is something that I think, especially in the realm of moms, we kind of, I don't associate self with like facials and bubble baths.
Okay.
I think that's where most people go when they think about self. I'm thinking more like identity work. I've done a
Okay.
lot of identity work, and I think especially for a lot of moms that I meet, that they have a certain identity that doesn't match where they want to go in business. And like I don't,
Okay.
it looks like you have a thought about that, but
No, no, no. I'm taking it all. Yeah.
yeah, and I think this has been the biggest shift for me because I'm like, I could have all the other stuff in place, but if I don't identify with somebody that is actually going to be able to do it, it's
Mhm.
not going to get done. I don't care what strategy I have. I don't care how supportive my husband is. It doesn't matter what systems I have in place. If I'm still sitting here like, woe is me, I can't do it. I'm a mom. I can't because, XYZ, you're not going to do anything. And
Yeah.
that's where the self bucket comes from is I work a lot on myself and my identity because I'm like I show up as that person that can do it all,
Yeah.
seemingly. Not it's not glamorous, but like I can do it.
So it's more. It's kind of like the mindset part, but it's more than just mindset.
A lot.
It's a lot of work. It's the inner work.
It is the inner work. I
inner
think
work.
that I'd like mindset was kind of the tip of the iceberg, and then it
Yeah.
kind of got into even just like embodiment and like
Yeah.
character and really like,
Yeah.
because I think mindset, like I can think a certain way, but it's like the act as
Mm,
well. Like on the back end of it is like I can think like, oh, about like even just like working out and stuff. It's like I can think that, oh yeah, I want to be healthy, and I can have that mindset of knowing that that's good for me. But I think the identity work is actually getting up and doing it, even if you're not the type of person that had done that in the past.
right.
Is that
Yeah.
that's really where I think things really started to shift for me as I started embodying the mindset and actually putting in the actions. They call it
Yeah.
like act as if.
They call it which? Sorry.
I don't know if you've ever heard the term like act as if.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I guess kind of like that is when I started acting as if, where I think again, because
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to always bring it back to the mom conversation, but I think as a mom of four young kids, like in my head, the image I had of myself was very different than the visionary CEO leader that I wanted to be. It was the hot mess express at home, late for school, forgot the lunch bag, all of that. And I really had to work on that identity. And I think that's been the biggest when someone says, like, how? I'm like, if I had to only give you one of my four S's, like that would be it.
That's really, really powerful because so many times, like and with my coaching clients, I'll work with them. When I work with them, one of the things I will say in a different way, but it is to act as if, right? Like
Yeah.
if your business was, a lot of people, if they're struggling or they're not fully booked, whatever their marketing strategist, and they have a lot of space, and have a few clients, how would you be showing up every single day? What would your life look like if you were fully booked? If you had a successful business and everything was the way you wanted to be, what would it look like? What are the activities you'd be doing? And it gets
Yeah.
people, and so it is powerful. Act as if, because act as if you're this. I mean, you are the CEO of your own business, but we downplay our role
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
time.
We do. We downplay it. And I think it's like acting as the future self versus the current circumstances, because the
Yeah,
circumstances will catch up, but the circumstances aren't going to craft that identity. Like I think people don't realize that you have to do that. Like a lot of people are just waiting for like the big case to roll in before they would act as if.
right.
When I started acting that way, the big cases came.
So of course the my landscapers decided to show up as we're recording this. Um, what would you say then? Okay, so okay, we're gonna play a game here. I'm gonna
Okay.
throw out a term. Okay,
Okay.
okay. First time I've ever done this. Throw out a term. Let's see what you come up with.
Okay.
This is the famous one. I don't have time.
Mm. It's funny because people say this to me, um, more asking me, how do you find time? I get asked that all the time. So I think it
Okay.
kind of goes hand in hand with what you were saying. And my answer is always the same, where I'm like, I didn't find it, I made it.
Hmm.
Like I didn't. I have every excuse in my back pocket. The things that happen in this house, like I should be crazy, but I made the time because it was important to me. Like you have the time. I don't find time for squat. And I always say every single time, so how do you find the time? How do you find the time to run events and post every single day on social media and do all the things you do? I'm like, I didn't find it. I
Yeah.
mean, I was up at 5:30 this morning because these things were important to me. And I think it's such a myth that people think that like time is something that you have to find. Like time is time. Like we all have the same 20. I hate saying that. We don't have the same 24 hours. I have four kids. Like so we have different 24 hours, but
Yeah.
like I think you'll make time for the things that are important to you. And it's just an excuse.
So I want our listeners. So one thing that we do in the Stern Truth is I'm always digging for those gold nuggets. So
Yeah.
I want everyone to just take that in because that's a mind. I'm also about mindset shifts, and that's a shift.
Yeah.
Instead of looking for time, I don't have time is negative because it's scarcity,
Yeah.
right? So what do you have control over? Make the time.
Yeah.
Make the
Yeah.
time. So that's a shift. So that's a huge gold nugget that I really do believe because I hear it all the time. Oh, because I do one-to-one and I also do group programs. It's like, oh, I wish I could take your program. I don't have the time, right? I wish I could do this, but I don't have the time. I wish I could get my business to the next level, or
But I don't have time.
I don't have the time. Okay. So
Yeah.
I love that. Make the time. Next one. Big one. This is a big one, probably in the Mama Masterminds world. And
Yeah.
I really want work-life balance.
I don't I don't believe in work-life balance. I don't say it anymore. I'm not looking for balance, especially when you're a mom, or I think even when you're just an entrepreneur. Like if
Hmm.
you're an entrepreneur, even if you don't have kids, I don't think there's gonna be balance. I call it harmony. I'm not looking for work-life balance. I want harmony. I don't want it to feel like there's like a ton of friction. I just want it to feel like my life can kind of ebb and flow with my business and my life as it's fit for that season. Like there's some days where, because I guess work-life balance makes it seem like, oh, I'm gonna like turn it off at 3 o'clock and then I'm like there for my kids. That's balance. But there's days that like I have to take calls in the evening and it would feel, I guess, off balance or unharmonized if there was friction there. But
Hmm.
because my family understands how I work, what our goals are, what I'm doing, what the collective vision is, there's no friction. So even though maybe I worked a longer day to day and I spent less time with the kids, more time on the business, and it's not balanced, it flowed. It felt okay. Like it didn't feel like there was friction there. So I don't think you're ever going to find a balance, but I think you can do it in a way that feels good for you and your family. And I think especially as an entrepreneur, like are we ever really going to detach from our businesses? Like probably not. Like I know that I can't. That's hard for me, but I guess I came to terms with like I'm not trying to balance it and put it in its own little container. I'm just trying to make it support our life in a way that feels good.
Okay. Um, that's great. Sounds wonderful. And I agree with you 100%. I don't believe in work-life balance either. Um, I like the harmony part. Okay. But let's go deeper now because this is
I was
Business
like, you're
Unfiltered.
fishing for another question. Yeah.
Guilt.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's easy, right? I know it's not. I know it's not. I'm
Hard.
prodding. I'm prodding, right? Yeah, it's not easy, right? So what about the
No.
guilt part of it?
Yeah, there's always guilt. Like I feel guilty 24/7. I'm like, I feel guilty because I should have replied to something earlier today. I feel guilty because maybe I'm answering an email and my son's trying to show me something. I feel guilty all the time. And I think it just like I'm not trying to cancel guilt. Like I guess it's one of those things again where I'm like, I've just come to terms with it. Like I think that you have to, as a business owner, like you have to realize that there's gonna be feelings that are gonna be there. Like I think that where the struggle comes from and I kind of like that we went down this rabbit hole because I had this realization before in motherhood was like I'm trying to fight the chaos. Like I have four young kids, and when I started this business, I didn't even have the little one yet. So like I had been an entrepreneur through pregnancy, through newborn, through all of it. And where it gets really hard for me is when I'm trying to make it seem like it's going to be easy. Like, if they're crazy in the morning and somebody spills milk and it's chaotic getting them out the door, it is so much harder for me if I'm trying to make it easier. If I'm trying to be like, oh, I don't want you to yell. I don't want you to scream. I want you to wake up happy. I don't want you to spill anything. I don't want you to have forgotten your lunch in your lunch bag and now it's moldy. Like, when I'm trying to resist what life just is in this season, it makes it so much harder for me. And I think it's the same thing with business is when you try and when I sit there and I'm like, I don't want to feel guilty, I'm just giving myself more of a hard time than just recognizing that, like, hey, it's kind of shitty that I can't pay attention to you right now. But you know what? Give me 5 minutes and then I will be right there. And
But
that makes things a little bit.
okay, gosh, my dog barks in the background because she's like pushing back on all of this too.
Yeah.
Um, it's easy. What are you talking about? You go online, you click on Facebook or LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn as much,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok,
Instagram.
and you see all these experts and these moms and these dads, and they got their laptop and they're on a beach and they're happy family and their kids are living the life.
Yeah.
They're in
Yeah.
Italy on a boat and
Yeah.
businesses running and it's just
Yeah.
beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it just
Yeah.
great? It's
Yeah.
just
It's just, it's a highlight reel,
yeah.
right? Like I post a highlight reel too, but I do try and be as real as possible because I recognize that every time I share a story, like I literally go on like decompression walks after dropping them off in the morning. Like
Yeah.
that is how bad it is getting four kids up, ready, dressed, and out the
Yeah.
door at 8:30 in the morning. I have to go for a walk because I'm so anxious and I can't work after because I can't sit down at my desk and turn it on 5 minutes later. Like I have to get that out of my system before I can get. And I talked about this once on stories, and someone was like, "I you." like your life is crazy in the morning. I'm like, everyone's life is crazy in the morning.
Yeah.
Like it's just life, but I recognize that that's how it's going to be. I've done what I could to make things easier, but I mean to some level it's not going to be perfect. And like that's okay. We can breathe and move on, but like
Yeah.
social media it's a highlight reel. Like even for me and people find it so surprising, but I'm like, no, like I have my struggles. I don't attach my self-worth to them. I don't let
Perfect.
them fully affect my business and my day because my kids not wanting to get up in the morning has nothing to do with how I'm going to produce during the day. But I think that's one of the big things is that I've kind of made that like differentiator where
Yeah.
like that's not, and I made that in motherhood before I made it in business, where I was like, the chaos does not have anything to do with who it's just the chaos.
Right. But okay, so here's the thing. So we might have talked about this before when we had our chat earlier. You had a career before you had kids.
Yeah.
I find that it must be even harder, and I'm talking to, I guess, the other moms out there and dads too. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
excluding them,
Yeah.
who never really had, they weren't in business or they weren't in like a solid career. They had kids and then they started it after.
Yeah.
So they kind of identified, and I guess it goes back to that sort of how they identify themselves as moms first. And
Yeah.
then there's the business side of it. And it's hard to distinct for them, it probably is harder to distinguish and separate because their identity is a mom or a dad, as opposed to
The
I'm
business.
Diana, I'm the
Yeah.
business owner, I'm the professional.
Yeah.
Here I am, I'm this, right? I'm a mom, I'm a wife or a partner, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Because it is all about expectations too. That's what we talked about earlier. Like if you expect things to be easy, and this
Yeah.
is not just people who have kids. This is for just business owners, period.
Yeah.
If we expect things to be easy, if we expect things to be like we see online, we're going to be disappointed because
Yeah.
we're going to be striving for something, or if we expect to have business life sort of the work life balance, we're going to
Yeah.
be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I liked what you said earlier that you expect it to be. I don't know if you use the word expect, but you know it's not going to be easy. You know it's going to be difficult. You know
Yeah.
there's
I just come to
chaos.
terms with it.
You
I'm like,
come to
this is,
terms with it.
yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was very powerful. You've come to terms with it and you manage it. And your four S's, your framework, probably is a huge way, like both at home and in the business, to sort of manage that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, and it's never going to be perfect. And it's saying, because I was actually listening to Alex Hormozy this morning,
Hmm.
and he's kind of spoke to this because he was like it's always going to be hard. That's what he said. And this man's built like he did a book launch that did like $105 million. Like he's and entrepreneurship wise, like I feel like he knows what he's talking about. And
Right.
it's gonna be hard. He's like, no matter what, life is going to be hard. He's like, but if you had to kind of, I guess he explained it like if you had to give up your life savings for a dream, wouldn't you want that dream to be as big as possible if you had to give up your life savings? And he kind of spoke to it the same as like your time and like the struggle, where he's like, if life is going to be hard anyways, wouldn't you rather go through the hard for something really, really epic? And
Right.
unconsciously, I was like, that's what I've been doing. Because I'm like, why not? Like, it's going to be
Yeah.
crazy no matter what. Well, why not make that crazy worth it?
Yeah.
And just do everything that I've ever wanted to do. Because no matter, even if I had no business, it's still crazy. We have 4 kids. Like, no matter what, I think it's still going to be chaotic. Why not go after my dreams and just live in that? Like, it's okay.
Okay. So I'm assuming you have, I mean, support is one of your strategies or one of your four S's, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you have a good support system around you.
Yeah, I do. But I mean, it didn't come naturally.
Okay.
Um, and I think this is something that people do need to hear because I get this thing. Like my husband's amazing. Like I've been with him for almost 19 years now. Like he knows me. He's very, very supportive. But I'm also a great communicator. And what I would find is I would have friends that would be like, "Oh, your husband is so great. My husband doesn't do this. My husband doesn't do that." I'm like, I would not tolerate less from him. And I don't say it in a
I know
naggy.
what you mean.
I don't want
Yeah.
to say the B word, but I'm like, but I'm not. I respectfully communicate with him. So when I need something, I tell him. I don't expect that he will know. I don't, I just tell him. I'm like, hey. I have a meeting tonight, 7:30. It's with a client. Can you take the kids out of the house? Okay. But what I find is a lot of women aren't asking for that. And then they're resentful that it doesn't show up at their door. And this is the thing where people talk about where's the village? Where's it? You have to call them. They're not,
Mm,
they're not, they will not. And I think if we sit back in life, in support, in mother, whatever it is, and we sit back and we expect things to come to us,
yeah.
they're not going to. Like if I need something, I'm gonna ask for it. And I will ask for it respectfully because that's the only way that this works. And I remember once like there was, I guess, some pushback with my husband. Like we don't fight a lot, but obviously like we live together. We're gonna have arguments.
Yeah.
And I remember telling him one time, like, you are the one person that I don't want to be afraid to come to. And when you kind of, I guess, talk to me in a certain way or make it seem like I can't just like share my thoughts, like that's not okay with me. I need to feel safe enough to share whatever I need with you. And he's like, noted. Okay. And we have a great communication system now because I had that conversation, because I was brave enough to do that. Where I find a lot
Yeah.
of women, I couldn't say that to my husband. I'm like, why? That's your
Yeah.
husband. That is
Yeah.
the person you're supposed to like. I'm not afraid to tell him anything because
Yeah.
why should I be? And that's, I think, the foundation of a great support system. But did he just show up one day and just be like, tell me anything you want? I'm a safe space. But no, like
Yeah.
I kind of had to lead that. And it's this kind of thing about being the CEO of your life. It's not just your business, it's your life, it's your household, it's leading your family. And I've really recognized that, and I lead them in a way that also supports me and my business.
Yeah. I'm hearing a theme here. It's just naturally coming to me. But really, and I've been talking and posting about it too, right? Because we are coming, as we're recording this, it's coming to the end of 2025, going to a new year. But the theme I'm getting is make it happen. It's on you to make it happen.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's one of my, I guess, core philosophies is if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
I
And
love that. Yeah.
the other one is just, it's my fault. No matter what. If it's good, if it's bad, I don't care. It was my fault.
Yeah.
And it's ownership, right?
Well, it's not just it's ownership, but it's good. Like people don't want it. It's accountability. That's what a leader is, taking
Yeah.
accountability. But the good thing, what I love about um, whether it's good or bad or whatnot, it's my fault. It's taking ownership. You have control over that.
Yeah.
And so many people out there, especially now, it's been a rough little while
Yeah.
with the
Like,
economy.
yeah. We can't blame COVID anymore, you guys. It's been 5.
Can't blame, yes, but
Like
the
it's been
but the
5 years.
economy, for a lot of people, the economy, it's down for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people are blaming the economy. Oh, the economy is this, the economy is that. It's this. It kind of the biggest one post COVID. I heard from Facebook groups I run and clients. I can't find good people. I can't find good people. There's nobody out there. Nobody wants to work. Sure, there's probably some truth to some of that. And yes, the economy's down. But how did you put it? If it's meant to be, it's up to me.
If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I think, and I was talking about this, I forgot where, but I'm like, there's so much proof that you're wrong. Like, I think
Yeah.
especially in the world we live in today, like I know for people looking at me, and it's actually a big reason that I show up online because I want you to see that it's possible.
Hmm.
Because so many times when I told myself I couldn't do it, I'm like, I have a mom friend who has 5 kids. She does just, I don't even know how many businesses she has. So it's like any excuse that you're giving me, there's somebody out there that has already proved you wrong.
Yeah.
And I see that as such a big possibility where, and when you say, oh, I can't find good people, I'm like, but there's proof that all these people have found good people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that really true?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no.
No. Well, it's one of the exercises I do with my clients and it's something you do, like people who have anxiety. This is like a therapist approach is if it's like limiting beliefs for someone, or they don't think they can find good people, they can't find this, they can't find that, or they can't do this, is 3 questions that you ask yourself. Is this true? So especially it's really powerful with like limiting beliefs or imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Is this true? That's the first question.
Yeah.
Second question, and the answer is usually yes. That's what we think.
Yeah.
Second question is this really true?
Yeah.
And then the third question, do I have proof?
Yeah. That's so powerful. I think I went through this exercise before with somebody, and it really helped me make that shift because she's like, where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence? And it was more of just like write down all of the negative things you think about yourself.
Yeah.
And then where's the evidence in that?
Yeah.
And like most of them, I'm like, there's no evidence
Yeah.
at all. So I mean, that's such a powerful thing for people to go through. And I like people don't, it's not a common thing. But I think once you've done the exercise, you're like, yeah, like it makes you think a lot differently.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know our thoughts affect our actions. I mean, that's just, it's just the way it is, both good and bad.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously the news we watch or don't watch, the people we surround ourselves with, the Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn, and his thing, his big thing was you're the average of the five people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Your income, usually your weight, look at your health,
Yeah.
all of it, your mindset, your pocketbook. So, okay, you've given so many gold nuggets through here. What would be one? There's so many questions I have, but I'm gonna ask this one. If there, whether it's a mom who has a business, or a dad who has a business, or just a woman business owner, or a man business owner, whatever, it doesn't matter. Business owner out there, and they're looking for some inspiration and guides. Just things haven't been working. 2025 is coming to an end. Hasn't actually. Let's speak to the moms. Let's speak to the Mama Mastermind.
Yeah.
Potential Mama Mastermind. So before I forget, so you also have a podcast. Is that right?
I do. And you're really inspiring me to get back on it. But it was more of a place for my thoughts to live, because I felt like I had so much to share. And I'm in the insurance and finance business. I can only rant so much on that page. So I'm like, let me give this a house to just live, because if I can just I guess it's what I was looking for. It was like business advice, but for moms.
Right.
And that conversation.
Well, okay. So yes, get back on it, because I think it's really neat.
Yeah, there's 6 episodes, and after we kind of chatted, I'm like, no, I got to get back on. And I think it was just putting pressure on me to do it weekly, but I don't have to. So I'm like, I'm going to get back out there and start doing it, because I do think that this conversation is needed.
It definitely is. And if it's up to you, what was the saying you said? If it's meant to be.
If it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Up to you. Yeah. So you have to make it happen. Okay. So that's good. I'm going to look forward to your next episode of that. Yeah. So you said about having this podcast to give business advice to mom business owners. Okay, give us something. Give us one gold nugget to a mom business owner right now who's trying to balance it. I mean, you've given so many already.
Yeah,
trying to balance it all, feeling
like going through a Rolodex of things that I like to tell people on a day. But you know what? I'm funny like this, where we talk about acting as if. I wrote a TED talk for myself, because I'm like, I'm going to be on that stage, because I have a message to share. And if I had to leave, I guess, mom entrepreneurs, or women in business with kids, I know we were kind of talking about that with something, it's to recognize how much power you already have. And I think a lot of moms are out there seeking something outside of themselves in order to be successful. But motherhood is like the ultimate leadership container. And when I had really had that insight where I was like, I am beyond capable, because I gave birth to 4 children. I can get them up, ready, out the door, fed with a healthy hot lunch in their bags by 8:30 in the morning. I remember everyone's birthday in my 20-person family. There's so much proof that I am capable. I can run on 45 minutes of sleep. A small child has picked on me and I haven't even flinched. Why am I scared to make a phone call? Why am I scared to show up on social media? Why are you scared as a business owner to do anything when you've given life? And when I started to kind of see those parallels, I was like, why am I playing so small? Why am I so scared? Why am I so afraid of what people will think? If somebody said something about my child, do you think I would that I would care what their opinion is? When my mom was like, oh, you should formula feed instead of, but I didn't care. I just did what I felt was best for me. But in my business, if someone's like, oh, that's kind of cringe, I'm going to stop. I think that mothers are already the just most powerful entrepreneurs, but they're not putting that identity on. And I know you kind of spoke to this, where you're like, what about the ones who were moms first? I'm like, you have all the same skills,
Yeah.
capabilities, qualifications that any entrepreneur, you're just not seeing it that way. So what I guess my biggest mission in the world is to help you see that parallel. Because when I did, I'm like, I can do anything. Like nobody will underestimate me because of the things that I am capable of. Like I will smoke you if I put my mind to it. And
Yeah.
like and that's how because I'm in a very male dominated industry and I had somebody kind of say that to me before and I'm like, watch me because I know what I'm capable of. And that's I mean that's the message, that's the TED talk.
That's powerful. So where does this, before we go, I'm just, where does this self-belief, this passion come from? Like the passion for yourself and your abilities. Where does it come from? Has it always been there, like growing up?
I don't know. I think motherhood really fueled that fire. Like when I look at them, I'm like, I did that. I did that. And I know, like, because you're a parent too, like, I want so much for them.
Hmm.
It's like when people talk about living for something greater than yourself, like, that is parenthood. And when I look at them, and there's four of them, so I'm like, I had to work extra hard. There's so many of them. I'm like, I want so much for, and I don't just want like a bunch of money for them and like,
Yeah.
trips and stuff. I'm like, I want a different world that they live in. Like, I have three daughters. I want them to grow up not thinking that, hey, I can't do something because I'm a mom. I want them to grow up thinking I can do anything I want because I'm a mom,
Mm,
because I saw my mom do it. Like that's I think what really, really fuels
I,
me is I see them see me. When I launched that podcast, they like rolled down the windows at school. They're like, my mom has a podcast. I'm like, it has two streams. But I love you. Thank you for being proud of me. And like they're so proud of me.
yeah.
And I want to continue to make them proud. I also obviously want to set them up financially for life and all of the things, but I'm like, I just want you to live in a realm of like infinite possibility. But it starts with you, right? I can't tell them
Yeah.
to do that and then not do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of
You're modeling.
you have to because kids don't, they say like I can't even, like, I can't think of the saying now, but it's like they don't do what you say, they do what you do.
Yeah.
And that's been one of my biggest drivers. I'm like, I'm the bar. I'm setting the bar for their entire future.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't fuel you, I don't know what will.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very powerful. It's very powerful. And also I mean, it's not just moms
Yeah.
in business. It's dads too. I don't want to downplay dads. I mean,
No,
my daughter's probably my
no.
biggest fan when it comes to like,
I love
actually, my
them.
son too. When it came to the
Yeah.
podcast, he actually, it was my son's friends. Like all of them started following the podcast and posting about they're in university, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I have a whole university crowd
I can't
listening.
wait for my kids' friends to find me on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh
Just
yeah. And to hear your son say, "Oh, my friends think you're cool," like that kind of stuff. But honestly, it's really showing the way. I mean, we have it's the next, it's cliche-ish, but it's the next generation. And
yeah.
really, really, it's all about showing up as leaders, which is what you're doing. And yeah, your kids are very fortunate to have such a strong role model. And also, I'm sure it's not they're not just seeing the good. They see the other side too. They see the
Oh,
hard days.
yeah, and it's such a big part of it where like I communicate with them a lot. And like I said, and I'm not gonna like toot my horn like I'm this master communicator, but I've learned that like nobody can read my mind. Even the kids, and
Yeah.
even from a very early age, like I've talked them through everything. Even like, when we were moving, it was like, where are we going to go? What's important to us? Why are we doing this with our finances? Like I'm super transparent with them, but in business, where I'm like, I went to a thing and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, or I launched something and it flopped, or I started the podcast and then I stopped, and like
Hmm.
I think especially as parents sometimes too, we feel like they're like hindrances to our performance. But my kids are like my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sure.
they really are. Like I don't know. I'm like I'm not, I don't use them as an excuse. It's more of like they don't want me to not do the things that I'm.
Yeah.
They're huge fans. But
And you don't want them to come to you and say, "Mommy, why did you stop the podcast?"
yeah, they call me out. It's like
Yeah.
off. Now they're like my little accountability partners, which is terrible. So they're like, "Did you send that thing you said you were going to send?" I'm like, "Not yet." So they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, or they'll ask about the masterminds. And they've been to the masterminds. That's why I
Oh,
started,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
Because I
Right.
wanted to be able to bring them with me. But when I host them now, they're like, "Oh, how many people did you have? Like, did you meet anybody new?" there. So it's like it's nice
It's
to
awesome.
include them in it, which is I guess kind of goes back to the harmony thing where I'm not trying to compartmentalize. All
Right.
like we're in this together. They play a different role than I do. Obviously, but I say this about my husband all the time too. It's like I remember having one of my biggest months in my finance business, and he joked around where he's like, "Oh, are you going to tell people it's because of me because I had to do a speech about it, like at our brokerage? They wanted me to speak, and he's like, "Oh, are you going to talk about me?" And I was like, you know what? I think a huge reason that I did hit those numbers was because of you, because you took all this mental load off of my plate in
Yeah.
order for me to like do what I need. So like in my mind, this isn't Diana's business, Diana's Mama Mastermind. Like it's our whole family
Love that.
that's working towards these goals, and we really treat it that way, which is why it doesn't feel, I guess, as hard as it used to.
It's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to put, if I may, a link to your podcast
Yeah.
in the show notes. If people want to reach out to you, or if they're interested maybe in the Mama Masterminds, when is the next one? Do you have one set?
I do have one set. We're going to go next Tuesday, the 25th. I'm
Okay.
not sure when you're going to post this, but November 25th, we're doing Chilliwack. I'm going all the way
Okay.
out to Chilliwack because I've had moms out in the valley that felt excluded. So we're going to go there.
Okay.
I don't
Nice.
think I'll do it regularly, but I'm going to go. And then December 4th, we're going to do Richmond, but we're actually sold out, which
Nice. That's
is
awesome.
big to me. And then I'm thinking about doing a holiday party, but I'm not like 100% sold on it yet. So I mean, I guess the best thing to do would be to, and I know you can put the link in the show notes at
Yeah.
all. We have a Facebook group because
Okay.
people are always like, "Oh, when's the next one?" I can't physically message everyone and be like, "Hey, this is our next one." So if you're in the group, you get to see the posts and the
That's,
upcoming events that are happening.
okay. So that's the best way. Okay. So we'll get that from you, and then we'll
Yeah.
post that into the show notes. Any last parting words of wisdom, gold nuggets you'd like to share?
I don't know. I think we went through a lot.
There's a lot. You
It
gave a
was a
lot.
lot there. So I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, just I hope people know how capable they are.
Yeah.
Like, if it's meant to be, it is up to you, but you have everything inside you that you already need.
I 100% agree. And that,
Yeah.
my friends, is the stern truth. What Diana just said is the stern truth. So, Diana, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
I know people are going to want you back. So if you're good with that, I'd love to have you back in the new year.
Yeah, I'd love to.
And because I'm sure there's a lot more, we just scratch the surface.
Yeah, on my tip of the iceberg. There's
Tip
lots
of
there's
this.
lots more in there for sure.
Perfect. So, Diana, don't go away. I'm going to just, for now, just say goodbye to everyone. And we'll see you again next week. I want everyone, actually, before we go, I want to hear feedback. This is on YouTube. This is on Spotify and Apple and Amazon and all that kind of stuff. Wherever you're watching or listening, comment below, share this with people that might benefit from it. And you can always send direct feedback to me at marshall@marshallstern.net. But I just want to hear at least one. There's been so many. One takeaway, one insight that you, the listener, have received from Diana and her amazing wisdom. So, Diana, thank you. And we'll see everyone again next week on another episode of The Stern Truth, Business Unfiltered. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Stern Truth. If you found today's episode helpful, we would love to hear from you. Please like, share, and leave us a review. Also, if you'd like to be a guest in an upcoming episode or join us in one of our Momentum Accountability Group sessions, simply email me to marshall@marshallstern.net. That's marshallstern.net. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep pushing forward and leading with confidence.